Hey, Echo Hills. So we are wrapping up week 3 of our series reading through the book of Acts. And so this week you should have been in chapter 5, 6, and 7. And as we look at these chapters, again, I want to remind you of Luke's intentionality, the author of Acts, to make us aware of a much bigger picture. And that picture and that narrative begins all the way back in the beginning. Genesis 1, 2, and 3. And as I shared last Sunday, we find in Isaiah 32 and in Leviticus 23 some important understanding. And so if you didn't catch last Sunday's message, make sure you go back and look at it. We had a lot of alterations to our service, but towards the end of our gathering, I had some time to impart and share with you some insights into what Luke is doing for us in these initial chapters. But as we get into chapter 6, we're introduced to a great man of faith filled with the Holy Spirit, and his name is Stephen. And again, Luke is being very intentional with bringing the story of Stephen into the narrative, into the context of his writing. And so this Sunday, we're going to look at this story. We're going to look at this man, Stephen, and we're going to come to this place where we realize that God is going to use the story and testimony of Stephen to begin to introduce a radical shift in the way he was viewed, God was viewed, and the way the ministry of the Holy Spirit is going to start to move. Because what we find Stephen doing is he is reminding us, and he's reminding his listeners, who would have been mostly Jewish, that our God, the God of Abraham, the God of Joseph, the God of Moses, the God who established a tabernacle in the wilderness, wasn't about just one location or just a certain people. He was about ministering to the ends of the earth and to all people. And what we're going to find is that Stephen, through his story, through his testimony, through his boldness, is going to give us language to recognize that what God wanted to do then, he still wants to do now. And that is take his message, take his kingdom, bring his love and his power through the working presence of the Holy Spirit to all people. And Stephen and his great posture of faith gives us an insight into what that looks like and how we can glean from it. And so I'm looking forward to this Sunday. There's a lot going on around here, but I'm loving so much how we're reading the book of Acts together. And so make sure you get your reading done as we come into Sunday, and then we'll get into the message from these last few weeks and look forward to next Sunday and the reading. So God bless you, and I'll see you on Sunday.